God gave me a dream last night. In It was a dream where I was with my family, and oftentimes family in dreams can represent believers um, or the church. So I was with um, I was with my family, and for it was like and I can't remember how we knew this, but we knew that there were police going around to different people's homes, and like looking for something like was the dream wasn't clear on what they were looking for, but police showed up, um, and they started looking at pictures and photographs, and police can often represent, like in dreams, like angels, or just the law. um, and those are the two things that I have written down. And then pictures um, can often, pictures or photographs can often represent identity. And it was so they found, it was like they found something in the photos that um, that basically like said what our identity was. And like in the dream, it was almost as if like they could see in the photos that our identity was in Jesus. And so they, you know, they kind of said that we had to, leave, like leave the country. Um, this country that we were in the dream, unknown, but and then we um, get to the airport, and airport, in dreams I have a few things written down, is um, waiting for destiny or ministry. Usually, if you have a dream about you being in an airport, um, you're probably waiting for your destiny or your ministry to arrive. It can also mean that you're transferring, like transfer of ministry, because you think about the airport. Typically you get on an airport to go somewhere, like um, maybe like a another someplace far away, like and then I'm gonna talk about transfer, more on that here in a bit. But then also what I wrote down is, because this caught my eye, is um, waiting on the Holy Spirit. You could be, if you have a dream of being in the airport, you could be, God is saying, like maybe you are waiting on the Holy Spirit. Um, Now, the end of this dream, um, there were, there were, it was me and other people were dressed in like a blue outfit. It was like a blue shirt and blue pants, and it had a white stripe going down one side and a white stripe going down another side. And so, what that is speaking to me is that there is a group of believers, some, again, possibly waiting on their destiny or ministry, that these are believers that God is saying, you're next, right? But then also going back to transfer of ministries. Some of you, and even maybe even myself, God is, transferring you. And let's look at the definition of transfer, what transfer means. When you have, like, let's say a job at Walmart or McDonald's or like any big, corporate chain, or really just any job or almost any job, you, like, let's say you live in Wisconsin and you're working for Walmart, and you plan to move to, let's say, Arizona, for example. If you, sit pretty well with Walmart, you can ask to transfer, and, make it easier, for you to move. And typically, that's what you would do, is like if you work for like a big chain like that, and you are moving and you want to keep your job at Walmart, you don't want to, you can request a transfer. Now, probably gonna have to sit pretty good with Walmart or like a chain, but like that. But you can transfer, and that's usually kind of what you would do, is like if you want to keep that job, but you're moving, you would just transfer to another Walmart location, or like some other location, so you can keep that job. So transfer of ministries, that's what I think about, is those that would be, waiting for a destiny, waiting for your ministry. Maybe perhaps God is saying you're transferring, meaning your ministry awaits, but you're moving. You're going somewhere else. It's a transfer. The ministry hasn't changed. Like, God hasn't changed the ministry. God hasn't changed the destiny, or he hasn't changed your destiny. He hasn't changed your ministry on what he's wanting you to do, or whatever. But it's a transfer. You're possibly moving, and so. But then one other thing that I thought of is, well, because like we were all believers, standing in line, wearing these blue suits, is maybe possible rapture might be in play here, but we'll find out.